Hello, it's Lieutenant, 1st Minnesota Sharpshooters. Back out in the woods today, up in the Northland, away from the comfort of the barracks. I'm missing some of the sharpshooter green or the infantry blue. It's still hunting season here in the Northland, and unlike the 1860s, little blaze orange is required. Taking about the mile or so trek back from the main trail to the log cabin. We should see it here right around the next corner. As usual, the first thing we're going to do is check out the state of the cabin and see what kind of condition it's in after a couple months since I've been here. The cabin's just coming into view. Let's check out the cabin, see if we can find any damage. One thing we noticed right away is this tree that's down. It's a pretty good sized tree, and you can see in the relationship to the cabin, we're glad that it fell the way it did. Obviously, falling on one of the buildings, not going to be a pleasant day. The cabin and the building seem to be in pretty good shape from the outside. Let's head inside and see what the condition is inside. Yeah, the inside looks pretty intact. For those that have seen the last video, last time I came down here, the stovepipe had fallen down. Look, that's still up. Got a little candle going just to help things along in case I need to restart my match from any chance. And of course, the nice thing about having all this wood prepped in advance, easily to select a lot of dry wood, so it makes this a pretty easy task. Let's give this a few minutes, and I think we'll start putting a little heat in this cabin. See the roof, the snow is kind of melting in various places. The roof's not really sealed 100% nor insulated, so this is the effect of the wood stove burning and then melting the snow. You can see a little more evidence on this side of the lack of insulation. You can see where the snow is melting off the roof, and of course around the stovepipe. As far as lighting the cabin at night, candles of course would have been used back in the day, so I try to use candles at least to some effect. You can see I've got a couple candles lit here. When I built the rock surround, I made a little couple perches for some candles. And you've probably seen a little bit last night. We do have a gas lantern that puts out quite a bit of light, but candles are really kind of the fun way to go, or at least get you started. Here's the ladder going up to the loft. Loft's about 6 feet above the ground. Easily climb with the ladder, and gives a real nice place to either sit up here and read, or of course sleep. With heat rising, this is by far the warmest place in the log cabin, and one of my favorite places to be. This is a dormer that I installed after, kind of as an afterthought, really an attempt to get more light in here, and also a little more headroom. You can see the windows on each end, and if you look even not too carefully, you can see light through some of the logs where we're still going to do some chinking. One of the styles I really wanted was a traditional or classic log cabin with big logs for the roof and kind of the open architecture. I did use some polyurethane from a recycling center, actually several gallons of it, to polyurethane the slabs of wood that serve as the roofing. I really wanted the kind of shiny, clean look of the wood. Maybe not done back in the day, but after a number of years out in Mother Nature, it sure keeps the wood looking a lot newer and clean. It's one of the bunks in the cabin. This is the middle bunk, and as you can see, it's fairly short, about 4 feet, and that's intentional. Here's how I had designed it. So I designed it with space in mind. When the bunk is not being used, it simply retracts back, and as you want to use the bunk at night, you can pull out this board and tie up at its retracted length. Now it's probably about 8 feet long. Going uphill a little bit at the end, but I'm sure as you put a little more weight on it, it'll level off. Here's a look out of one of the windows. Obviously in the wintertime it's a lot easier to see through a forest with the leaves being down. On the way back to the wagon, let's take a little look. Let's see if we can find how many evidence of Mother Nature we can see. I don't know if you can cast your eyes down at the snow. You can see a trail, maybe either deer or a small animal. Here's a lot more evidence of wildlife. We can see turkey tracks. Turkey are pretty prevalent in this area. Let's see if we can find one of their individual footprints. There's a pretty good example of one right there. And this is pretty neat here. Likely, these are very small footprints. Likely a field mouse. Follow these tracks right back, probably where they came from or sleeping for the night. Right here in the base of the tree. That's pretty cool, guys. This well-followed game trail. I'm sure we can see some of the well-formed deer trails. Kind of a super highway of its day. Here's that same trail from just a slightly different angle. We can see got a main trail here, very heavily trampled down. And we got the turn off by the right flank. Head off into the wilderness.